What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Planet podcast. I'm joined today by Daniel Tanious. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Daniel is a fellow diehard Laker fan, diehard Kobe fan. So with the recent events of Pau Gasol's jersey retirement, who better to come on to the podcast and talk Lakers with me? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you taking time out of your day. And as I already mentioned, on today's episode, we'll be talking about Pau Gasol's retirement, how the Lakers have been doing recently with LeBron out, and then we'll get to Ja at the end. Ja Morant, that is. So obviously during this week, it was Pau Gasol's jersey retirement. And Pau, man, he's definitely a Lakers legend, you know. Lakers traded for him during that 2007-2008 season, midway through. Man, that was a steal, you know. We got Pau Gasol. Trade. Yes, exactly. We got Pau Gasol for who? Kwame Brown, bro, of all people. I'm like, everybody knows Kwame Brown. If you're a diehard Laker fan, you remember Kwame Brown, right? And it's all
I don't want to remember.
Exactly. So it's all like, all we can be thankful for is obviously there was more players, but Kwame Brown, thank you for helping be enough value to trade for Pau Gasol. So this week we had Pau Gasol's number 16 going into the Raptors. Can't think of a better person, one of the best players from the Lakers recently. He definitely deserved it, you know, because he was a huge contributor right behind Kobe for title number 15 and 16 in the Lakers franchise history. So now that we've seen this ceremony and we've gone through all the emotions, how were you feeling during the ceremony?
Not going to lie, during the ceremony, teared up a little bit, but it's great to see a fellow Laker legend go into the Raptors next to my all-time favorite player, which is Kobe. Just brings back so many memories. I still remember Game 7 against the Celtics at home. When they won, I went to my backyard, jumped off my diving board into my pool, fully clothed, just yelling because I was so excited. Never forget that. It's just great memories, and I loved having him on the team. At first, we got him. He was a little soft. And then as Kobe just built in that tough mindset, you could see as the years progressed, he got stronger and stronger, and he helped lead us to 2 championships. So I love it.
Definitely. That's funny that you mentioned the softness, you know, because that's what a lot of people would say about Pau back then, because it'd be in 2008, we saw Pau get destroyed by Kevin Garnett, right, during the finals. And that, like, if anything, obviously it was tough losing to the Celtics in 2008. But if anything, that helped the Lakers even more because Pau came back like a different beast the following 2 seasons, especially that 2010 finals when we had that rematch against the Celtics. And it was all like, Pau was like, nah. You can't call me soft this playoff run, you know, these finals, I'm going to like leave my print on this, and KG, I'm going to wipe the floor with you, you know. And that was crazy because Pau just completely came back way stronger, way better of a player, and that defeat in 2008 really helped him overcome that softness to defeat the Celtics in 2010, you know. So, and you already mentioned it, that was one of your favorite memories. That's what I was going to ask. What aside from that, what other favorite memory do you have of Pau?
Well, there's some specific ones in Game 7 that I absolutely loved. I even had to rewatch it just to kind of jog my memory. But the one play when he was 74-70 and he's down on the left side low block, and he basically hits like a clutch little floater over 3 Celtics defenders, basically almost putting the nail in the coffin at one point. That shot right there and the intensity that he shows after the shot is something that I'll never forget. Like that memory right there. Even later in that play, Kobe was going for a 3 at the top of the key. Pau Gasol got the offensive rebound. That was huge. And I'll never forget the most iconic play that you see Lakers social media bring up is the head nod between Kobe and Gasol on when Gasol's on a low block against Orlando, and he's nodding to go to his, I believe it's his right, so Kobe's left. And goes and does that shovel pass right back to him. And then they're talking about it in the locker room. I think that's just like a great memory I have.
Yeah. Yep, that's one of the ones that we've been seeing recently, obviously, with Pau Gasol's jersey retirement coming up. You just see Kobe saying, like, you see, we just got to get that timing right. Just stay parallel with me, get that little shovel pass, and they can't stop that, And, and obviously that was during their first championship. So, like, it just helps captivate how great of chemistry they had. Because obviously that first year that they lost to the Celtics in 2008, Pau got there in February, right? The finals are in June. They got to championship contending team within those 4 months, and so obviously just that fact that they got there with no chemistry at all really shows how great of teammates they were. So the fact that afterwards they had the whole offseason in 2008 to really get down to it, get to work. Kobe goes to the Olympics. Well, they both go to the Olympics, obviously. So Kobe with Team USA, Pau with Team Spain. And then after that just helped them get on a whole other level. And it just something about the Olympics, like you see so many players go, and then when they come back, they're already fresh for the season. So like they just go straight into the season, like warm. They don't even have to warm up anymore. So I don't know, man, just that Pau and Kobe connection. Obviously, Kobe and Shaq, most dominant duo ever. But Pau just knew how to win over your heart. It was just like, damn. And it's like, because with the Kobe and Shaq, I was too young for that, but I still kind of like have those memories, obviously. So I feel like Kobe and Pau, about that time, I was 10 to 12 years old, I was actually more into the game at that point. So that's why I like that 2010 era of the Lakers with like D Fish, Ariza, or when they got Artest, the machine, Sasha Vujacic, like that team, Lamar Odom especially. Yeah. It's all like that. Those teams are what really like gives me so much nostalgia. Like I hate seeing those videos, those throwback videos, because it's all like, damn, those were really the good old days. Like, I'm not saying we have a bad team now with LeBron and AD, but I'm just saying it really like throws you back in time, And then I know that was, go ahead.
I was going to say one memory that I actually do have of Gasol that was when he played against Kobe in the Olympics. I don't know if you watched the Redeem Team on Netflix and you saw the first play Kobe runs through Gasol's chest. I don't know, just to that just shows me like another level to his play, and that I feel like Gasol respected that so much that he's like he wants to win no matter what, and then he brought that when he came back into Lakers camp that year.
Definitely.
I feel like even that little moment shows like this guy wants to win no matter what, and I'm going to do my best to support him and lead this team to a championship.
Yeah, that the Redeem Team clip. Yeah, that really shows you that type of competitor Kobe is. He doesn't care that Pau was his teammate in the NBA, because at that point, Kobe's main focus was the Olympics, Team USA. So it's all, I think it was like LeBron, Melo, D Wade. They're like, he just did that to his own teammate? Okay, now we really got to get that. Like, now if he's doing that, we have no excuses. And then you see Pau's like, it's all good. I know my brother. He's just doing it to to prove to his team that he's willing to do whatever it means to win. And I respected that. It's like, so that, I don't know, man, it just sucks, because he's like, obviously we were saying we were getting emotional during it. And one of the main things is because the Kobe video, like most, not even just Laker fans, most NBA sport fans, they've seen the video of Kobe talking about Pau and his jersey deserving to be retired back in 2018 at the Oscars, right? So just seeing that come up again yesterday, dude, like once because obviously the ceremony starts and then they're like, okay, here's Vanessa Bryant to introduce Pau Gasol. And then she has her little intro video and she's all like, here's a little video that Kobe made for you, And when she said that, honestly, at first I was like, did Kobe really record a video before all of this happened? But because I hadn't known about that video already, but I was like, dude, did Kobe, maybe Kobe made a personal video. And just the thought of that, dude, holy damn, I'm starting to tear up a little right now. You can't really tell, but I'm starting to tear up a little.
I was thinking the same thing too.
I was like,
you said Kobe, about a video?
Yeah.
I was like, is it a video I haven't seen?
No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if this is something that Kobe like recorded pre-hand, like something we haven't seen yet, I'm really about to like just lose it right now. And then obviously she does introduction, and it's a video we've seen, but it doesn't matter, dude. I still broke down. I was like like it was to the point where I had to like just lay down and I just let it out. I was like, and then like my girl was next to me and she's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry, but like I just started letting it out."
Like, you don't understand.
You know, like she understood, but like she was so like, okay, like I get you, but like, you know, but dude, I'm sorry, I'm starting to get a little teary eyed right now. So once you saw that, obviously, once you saw that video, how bad were you? Like, how emotional were you getting?
I definitely teared up, and I'm not like embarrassed to say it at all. Cause
no, not at all.
me growing up, you know, like kids, they have Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, like superheroes they look up to. My superhero was legit Kobe. Like, just have him tatted on me. Like, it's just, that's my person that I looked up to. And I don't really look up to celebrities. That's just the one. Like, that's the only one like I admired. And I was just like, when that happened, when he left this earth, like a part of me just felt like I left with it. I was like, damn, that's like my childhood leaving. So seeing it on the screen, a lot of emotions come to mind. But I'm so happy that Gasol was, I knew for a fact he was going to talk about him. Just hearing Gasol talk about him just really like warmed my heart, because I just knew like how much of an impact he had and how Gasol's continuing to like be an uncle to his kids and being there for Vanessa. And that's just at least great to see. Like, that just warms my heart just to see that.
Yeah, and it's all like, it's something that like obviously Pau doesn't have to do, but it's something that he does out of the kindness of his heart, you know, because him and Kobe were super close. They were literally brothers to each other. So I'm just glad to see that Pau is Uncle Pau. He's around for like the family, his Kobe's daughters, you know. But dude, it's just like right now that you mentioned that day, do you want to give your story of where you were when you found out? Obviously, I don't want to. It's hard to talk about, but if you want to, you want to say.
I'll talk about it. I remember I went out the night before, so I was drinking. I'm hungover. I'm waking up in my room about 10 to 11 o'clock. I'm waking up with. Or was it 11? Like a little bit after 11, around that time. I don't know specific.
It was
time.
it was around 10 to 11.
Missed calls. I have like 5 missed calls. I have like 20 text messages, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, nobody hits me up this much. And it's literally one of my best friends like calling me repeatedly, and he's just like, call me back. So I call him back. I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, I'm tired, bro. He's like, did you hear about Kobe? I was just like, what? He's like, bro, he passed away. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't like, why the fuck would you even joke about that with me? He's like, no, bro, I'm telling you, go look on Twitter, go look on the internet, like, you'll see it. And I was like, bro, don't. And I was like, all right. I hung up, saw the news, legit bawling. I went inside my house to my parents, bawling in tears. They come up to me, they're like, what happened? I was just like, Kobe died. And they literally just started hugging me, and I'm just bawling, went straight back to my room. Literally didn't eat the whole day, didn't leave my room. Next day, woke up, did the same exact thing. 2 days, I was just like, I'm not like eating. I just can't. Like, I felt like I just couldn't do anything. I was just felt so sad. And then I know some time passed, and I think about a month later, I set up like a game at our fellow park to honor Kobe. You were there, right?
No, you invited me, but I couldn't make it.
Oh yeah,
I remember
couldn't
that
make it because of work or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said we had about like 30 people come out, everyone wearing Kobe gear, and we just played basketball. And I was just like, I felt like I had to do something, because I was like, he like impacted my life. He doesn't even know I exist, no idea anything about me. Just impacted my life in a positive way. So I felt like I had to do something to honor him in some type of way. And I was just like, dude, how do you fucking honor someone like that? Like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, fuck, basketball game, everyone wears Kobe gear, and just do that. To me, like, I don't really set up much stuff, but it was fun. I had about 30 friends come out, everyone wearing jerseys or shirts, and it was just a good time. We played basketball, and it was for him. And then I was playing some music that mentions like Kobe's song with Destiny Child. I played that on repeat.
Kobe by Lil Wayne.
Kobe by Lil Wayne. Juicy J, where it says, "Who the neighbors?" That's Kobe from the Lakers. I think that's the line around there. But I was bumping all those songs for his
anything
honor.
that mentioned Kobe. No, yeah, dude, I remember that day.
Yeah, what about you?
Dude, that
you
day
talk about it?
I'll probably cry, but I'll say it. I remember that day. It was obviously Sunday. It was super foggy that morning. They say that like it was so foggy that not even like I think it was LAPD choppers were up or whatever, you know, because like it was so foggy. It wasn't visible. Like it was so dangerous to see through because you couldn't see anything. And then I just remember being on the way to I was actually going to Smorgasburg that day in LA, and I remember like my cousin was calling me because I was on the way there, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, like, all right, let me answer, you know. And then she was all like, did you see? Like, kind of like how your buddy told you. She tells me, she's like, did you see? And I was like, did I see what? She's like, Kobe died. I'm like, shut up. Like, don't say that. Like, why are you joking? She's like, no, I'm being serious. Like, Kobe died. It's all over Twitter. I'm like, oh my God. Like my heart started racing, and I was all like, please let it be one of those hoaxes, you know? Like, you know how like you always see like celebrity hoaxes. This person died, and they like tweet out, no guys, I'm really alive. Like, no, but then like I looked it up, and like when I saw it, the first tweet I saw was TMZ reporting it, and I don't know. So once I saw it was TMZ, I was like, fuck, this shit's real, dude. Yeah, because like TMZ, like obviously a lot of people say TMZ isn't real, whatever, but sure, they don't have. I feel like they don't have the common courtesy when it comes to like news that shouldn't be revealed that quickly, especially like Kobe's death. That's something that's super sensitive content that they should have waited for like Vanessa and the family to like, you know, somehow just get not their approval, but like let them know about it first before like they even knew, because obviously it was just Kobe, Gigi, and some of the rest of the team. But once I saw that, I was like, dude, no. And I was driving in like heavy traffic. My like eyes were getting like all like I couldn't see the road because of how like my eyes were just tearing up. But I was trying not to let them out. And then like once we finally got over there, like we parked and everything, I was like, dude, no. And they just came out, you know, like I was like, Kobe's really gone. And then I remember going down the elevator. You've been to Smorgasburg, right? Or no? Yeah. So you know, like how there's the structure. It's just like the food and like food and vendor spot in LA. Like I think it's on Skid Row. Yeah. So like I remember going down the elevator, and there was a group of other guys in there, and like they're like, nah, it's fake. But it's all like, bro. Even like by that time, I was like, Woj just tweeted about it. There's no way it's fake. Woj is not gonna like say something fake, and they're like, nah, Woj doesn't know what he's talking about. Man, he's not a real source. I'm like, bro, he's the leading. Like at that time, Shams was barely coming up, I want to say, but at that time, Woj was the number one, and it was all like, Woj is the number one guy to break news for the NBA. If he said LeBron requests a trade from the Lakers right now, you would believe it. But now this, like, no. And I think it was just like part of them, and I don't blame them at all. They were just like them, like trying to like it was denial, you know. They were like, no, he's not gone. And then I remember getting downstairs and like because we drove separately from my family, and I remember seeing my brother too. Like he just had his shades on the whole day, and it was like, but you could tell like he was crying. My other cousins were crying because like they grew up on Kobe and Shaq, and then they saw Kobe and Pau, you know. So just like. It's funny, it's funny, but like the thing is when other people like cry about like celebrities or people they didn't know, I've always been like, man, it's just a celebrity. You didn't know that person. Like it's sad, obviously, but you didn't know that person. But I don't know why with Kobe, it was just so different. Like you said, he was our superhero. He was our idol.
Yeah,
So it's like
exactly.
he's really gone. Like I've never cried for a celebrity's death before. And just
Me
when
neither.
Kobe died, like when Kobe died, I was like, dude, no, 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 no. Like, because at that point, obviously, the night before, LeBron had just passed him for third all time on the scoring list in Philly, his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe tweets out, congrats, keep moving forward, like whatever he said. And then you see the next day, the players, I think it was Dwight Howard that like told the team on the flight, because he was like, everyone was asleep because they were on their way back to LA. And then you just see the video of like the players just like head down and everything. It's like, bro, Kobe was just alive last night tweeting at me, and now he's dead. Like by the time we get to LA, like I don't know, man. Just
crazy.
And then like how you were mentioning like that week, like I don't think I listened to anything except for ESPN 710 LA, because that during that whole week they were just playing nothing but Kobe tributes, having fans call in, and like just listening to everyone's stories made me emotional, but it also like helped me feel like, okay, I'm not the only one, like everyone has their where were you when this happened story. And they were just like, it sucks that we were experiencing that, because like obviously he passed and everything, but it was like, dude, that whole week was just hard. And then once you finally get to the game, I was all like, okay, I think I'll be fine. And then they do their old tribute, and it was waterworks.
Couldn't.
Do you remember that game?
Man.
It was against the Blazers.
I remember.
Yeah,
it was hard to watch. It was just sad. I will say, like after it all happened, like seeing all the tributes about him and everything, that was probably like one thing that like it still made it seem like it wasn't real, because I would just keep seeing. I was like, bro, he's like, you ever get where you keep seeing the same guy like on the screen, or you just always just rewatch these old videos? It's like, how could this guy be gone? Like, I don't know. It just, till this day, it's something that still kind of feels surreal to me. And I do remember, like, I've never felt like, I don't know how to describe this feeling, but I felt like the world stopped when
definitely.
Like I heard about it, and I felt like it stopped numerous people told me they felt the same thing. Like they've never felt like the world like could stop for a second for something. And what my parents compared it to is when Michael Jackson passed away, and they felt like kind of the same thing. Obviously, Michael Jackson had his like accusations and stuff that he went through. I don't know about all that, but like that's what my parents told me. Like that's kind of like how they described it, like the same type of thing. Like the world just felt like it stopped for a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's like, because Michael Jackson was their like superstar of their time, and it was all like Kobe's ours. But it just, I don't know, like how you said that the world stopped, how it felt like it stopped. I felt that out there in LA too, because obviously we're in LA. I think we weren't too far from Staples. It forever will be Staples. I don't care, Crypto.com Arena, Staples Center forever, the house that Kobe built.
Always.
So, yeah, so like just being out there was like, obviously we're in LA. That Smorgasburg is like a nice festive, not like it's a cool environment to be in, everyone's upbeat out there, whatever. But that day it was just like, Kobe died. Like nobody was like, you didn't see anybody like all joyful or any of that. Like everybody was just like, damn. Like even people that didn't watch sports, like there's a bunch of people that I know that don't watch sports, and they were like, Kobe really died? Like, no way. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, it was just something that like, it doesn't not only affects or touches sports fans. It was something that Kobe was a global icon. And I know I always say LeBron this, LeBron that. Kobe is my GOAT. The most skilled player I've ever seen, obviously, because I wasn't alive for MJ. But I'm just saying Kobe is the most skilled player ever. May he rest in peace. May Gigi rest in peace, and everybody else that lost their life that day. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, just long live Kobe, Mamba forever. Yeah. That's why I got tatted on me, and that's my favorite tattoo.
Yep. Damn, dude. That's crazy. Damn,
Wow.
wow. But all of this
I'm
from
so happy though
Pau's,
for Pau Gasol.
yes.
It's hard
That's
because
what I
you
was
can't
saying.
bring out you
Yeah,
can't
you
bring
can't
up
talk.
Pau without bringing up Kobe. Like
Yeah,
it's like you can't bring up Shaq without talking about Kobe.
yeah, exactly.
It's just same thing. You don't talk about peanut butter without jelly. That's just life. They go together. You got to bring it up.
No, yeah, that's how I'm over here looking at the episode notes, and I'm like, damn, we did not have this on here, but I don't care. I don't care.
It's
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 Kobe. We'll make
inevitable. Have
exceptions.
to
Yeah,
talk about it.
but yeah, Kobe. That we got here from Kobe's video. All right, so we're still on Powell's subject, but Powell definitely congratulations. Every Laker fan loves you. If they don't, they're not a Laker fan. It's all
That's
like,
true.
ah, man, and then just seeing all the videos, all the tributes, like it really shows not only how great of a player Powell was, but how great of a person he was. Because I feel like in all of them, everybody was mentioning that like he's a great player, even better person. So I can't think of someone better, more deserving than Powell. Because obviously Kobe had his 2 jerseys retired. He said, my brother will have mine. He'll be up there with next to mine, and I'm just glad that the Lakers finally honored Pau. Not just because Kobe said it would happen, but because Pau deserved it. So
Exactly.
if anything, I don't know, man. I was gonna ask, who do you think would be the next to be retired? But I don't know. I kind of. Because obviously, I feel like next in line would have to be either LeBron or AD, but that's far away. They still have a lot to go through because obviously they both led us to championships. But I don't know. LeBron's not going to get both jerseys retired. He has 6 and 23.
Yeah.
That's why I was hoping he would have just stuck with one number. Because I'm all like, don't be thinking you're going to get both jerseys retired here, man. Kobe got it because he had 2 different 10 seasons. He had 10 seasons with each jersey, and they are both Hall of Fame worthy. Even though obviously the second half was plagued with injuries, but I don't know. You think LeBron gets his retired?
You know who I'm surprised they haven't retired? I don't know why,
guess.
but I felt you guess.
Don't tell me Derek Fisher.
Yeah, Derek Fisher. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just surprised. Like, I mean, I kind of get it because he wasn't like that dude on the team. Like he wasn't the third guy, the fourth guy, but he was there for all the championships with Kobe, starting point guard. It's just there the whole time, and he's just played. How long was he on the Lakers? Was it?
Well, he got drafted. He got drafted the same year as Kobe. I want to say he left 04, maybe 05. And then he was gone for 2 or 3 seasons, and then he came back that season. They went to the finals. So he came back in 07, the summer of 07. So he was only gone for like 2 or 3 years. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, he was on the Lakers from '96 to 04.
Yeah,
He was there for the three-peat. Left to Golden State for 2 years, then the Utah for 1, and then came back to LA from 07 to 2011. So he was
that's
Kobe's.
After that, he went to OKC.
All. Yeah,
because he went to
he went to OKC,
right?
Yeah,
that's when everybody was expecting him to get 6 rings with the KD, fucking KD, Russ, and Harden. The baby Thunder,
and then
obviously.
From there, Dallas. And he went to Dallas, and then he went back to OKC, and then finished his career there in 2014.
I forgot he even went to Dallas. I don't remember that, honestly. That was so long ago, though.
Yeah, it was very short. I don't even know if it was a full season.
No, probably not.
He went right back to OKC. But that was one player I was just like, if he got retired, I wouldn't mind. But if he doesn't get retired, I kind of understand it. 'Cause you give it to like the guys who are like leading the team most of the time. So,
if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Lakers is everyone a Hall of Famer? I would say everyone's a Hall of Famer, right? Like I'm pretty sure Pau is I don't know about Pau yet.
Oh, he's
honestly.
a future Hall of Famer.
But
Everyone
that's
that's
what I'm saying.
retired.
Is a Hall of Famer. That's why. So D Fish isn't a Hall of Famer, but he obviously has the emotional, the nostalgic ties to the LA because he was here for all 5 championships, and that's why. Like I've seen Laker fans saying that he deserves it. I've had a couple buddies telling me like D Fish is next, but like you said, I wouldn't be mad if they do it, but I do not see them actually honoring Fish with number 2. Because at the end of the day, he was there for 5 championships, but at the end of the day, he was a role player. He wasn't he wasn't the first best. He wasn't the second best. Man, he was even the third best on the team. You know,
he might have been like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, but like I'm not like no disrespect to Fish. Like he was clutch and everything, but I can see why they wouldn't. But like you said, if they do it, I'm not going to be mad. But as of right now, that's Jay Vando's number. The beast on defense.
I did read that they only retire Hall of Fame players on the Lakers.
Exactly. So yeah, but that's the thing now. So now that I mentioned Jay Vando, go ahead.
Before they do any jersey retirements, they need to put the statue in front of Staples Center for Kobe.
Literally, yeah. They're taking forever. They're taking forever.
Yeah, that should have been done. That should have been done fucking like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that should have been ready by
taking so long.
That should have been ready by the time his final game came around. They should have been like, you're barely retiring, but you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. You are the greatest player in Laker history. I know people are gonna say Magic. Some people will say Magic. Okay, but Kobe was the best player. I don't care what anyone says. So that's the thing. It's all like, whatever. But they are taking forever. So Lakers Genie Bus. If somehow you see this, please give us the Kobe statue. Give us 2 since you gave us 2 jerseys. Give us 2.
I'll come help you build it.
Yes, I'll help you unveil it. I don't know about building, but I'll unveil it for you guys.
I'll clean it. I'll clean the area that's been put on. Get the process going.
Exactly. No, but now transitioning to this year's Lakers. So obviously, Lakers have been without LeBron since the Dallas game. He messed up his ankle.
Yeah.
He did finish that game, obviously, where the Lakers ended up coming back from 27 to overcome the Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie. And shout out Jay Vando. I already said your name, but shout out to you. Your defense, your energy all over the court really energized the rest of the team, and you're the reason that they won it. So since that game, the Lakers lost to the Grizzlies. They beat the Thunder. They lost to the Timberwolves, and then they beat the Warriors and Grizzlies again. So it's 1, 2, 3. They're 3-2 in the last 5 games without LeBron. So it's not amazing, but the Lakers have had, I'm not going to say some luck, but it's gone their way as they're now climbed after the game against the Memphis Grizzlies where they beat them on Tuesday. They've climbed from 12th going into that day, finishing the night at 9th seed. So now they're 32-34, and don't forget it's a terrible record. Okay, I'm not over here saying amazing, whatever, but they started off 2-10, and now they're 32-34. So obviously that was a terrible start. They also, I'm not going to make excuses or whatever, but there were at least 5 games since the new calendar year, I want to say, or even if you want to go back a couple more months, where the Lakers either blew a game or the refs blew it for them. So let's just take some of those out. The Lakers could easily be as high as maybe 4th seed. So obviously LeBron is out, D'Lo is out, but he should be coming back sooner. Where realistically do you see the Lakers finishing the season, I should say?
Realistically, I see them going no higher than the 5th seed.
I agree.
But if I'm keeping it up, Buck, I'm leaning more towards that 7th seed spot. Something about that 7th seed spot I think will be the best. because I feel that one, it's gonna line them up to play a team that they want to play in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking like it's gonna be the Kings,
Mm-hmm.
and just their schedule right now. I think was reading today they have the third easiest
Yeah.
among all teams,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Yeah.
got D'Lo come back next game. So as long as we're staying above 500 till LeBron comes back,
Mm-hmm.
like with our remaining games, I think
Mm-hmm.
a 7 seed is definitely doable since teams are dropping. You got Grizzlies are going to be dropping. Pels have been already dropping, so
Mm-hmm.
I see seventh being a real feasible. But I do see we're going to be in the play-in. Kind of, I feel like that's going to be really hard not to be in the play-in. But if we
Yep.
make it past 7, more the merrier.
Okay, if they get to 7th, they'd be hosting the very first they'd host the 7-8 match. Is it? Yeah, 7-8 match. And they would have the home court advantage. So I do see them. Honestly, I'm being optimistic.
The
Obviously,
7-8 or the 7-10 match
it'd be 7-8 because the 9-10
in the
play
play-in.
against each other. Yeah, it's 7 plays 8.
Oh, okay.
Whoever wins that gets the 7 seed, and then the 8 whoever loses that game plays the winner of the 9-10 match. So the 9-10 match has to win 2 games. 7-8 only has to win 1. But the thing about that is, so we have the Lakers at 9th. Right behind them is the Pelicans at 10th seed. And above them in the play-in is Minnesota at 7 and Dallas at 8. But the thing about this is that Lakers are 9th, right? So 11, 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
The 13th seed is the Utah Jazz. They're only 1 game behind. So every single game is so crucial coming down the stretch because they're like as close as we are to the 4th seed. Not even the 4th seed, sorry. The 5th seed. They're only 2 games behind the 5th seed. But they're only 1 game ahead of 13th. So
Yeah.
if they win out, obviously they'll be not win out. If they win the majority of their games, they'll be in good spot to get 5th or 6th. But if there's those games like during the season where they blow some games, they could easily find themselves out of the play-in. And that'll look bad for LeBron, AD, the Lakers, missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. But honestly, realistically, I can see them making it to the 5th seed because I don't see the Grizzlies dropping that far, but maybe with Ja being out, who knows how long he'll be out. But I see
and they have
Denver.
a tough schedule too.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, so I see Denver staying at 1 because they're ahead by 7 games. Denver is by far the best team in the Western Conference. They're going to be 1. The Phoenix Suns are currently at 4th, but I see them. Honestly, I can see them jumping to 2nd. I can see them jumping the Kings, but I mean, KD just got hurt today. I don't think it'll be too serious. He was able to finish his workout, but we'll see how that goes. But I think Suns have too good of a starting 5 to not win. I mean, because they have CP3, you have Devin Booker, you have KD, you have I don't know who the 4th one is. Sorry, and then you have Ayton at the 5. No, Ayton's at the center. Yeah, at the 5. So that's 4 out of 5 that could not easily be, but could be all-stars, because Ayton, during that run against where they made it to the finals against the Bucks, I'm going to say Ayton was their best player. Ayton was so dominant during that series, and it's all like, I think he'll be their X factor coming down the stretch going into the playoffs. Because everybody's going to be focused on KD, they're going to be focused on Booker, and Ayton has to be that guy, But realistically, I see the Lakers being no worse than 5th or 6th seed. Call me optimistic, call me biased just because I'm a Laker fan.
Oh, no worse.
I say no worse.
No worse. Oh, damn.
So, shall we make this interesting?
I would agree with you if LeBron was there.
But that's the thing.
What I'm saying. I feel like their ceiling is 5th.
That's the thing.
But that's being very optimistic.
It is.
Okay,
but the thing I'm saying is, though, post trade deadline, this team is built really well. We've seen AD being a monster. He finished the game against Memphis with 30 points and 22 rebounds. I think he was on a list with other legends to who have had 30, 20 games and nothing but legends on there, you know? So it's like you can see AD right now is in his not, I'm not going to say he's playing as well as he did back in December, November, like when he was on that MVP pace, but he's definitely being AD, and the D stands for dominant. But, you know, I think AD plays well enough because we saw it in the Memphis game. They were up 3. AD gets scratched in the eye. The guy starts looking at his fingernails right away. He's like, "Oh my god, did I forget to cut him?" You know. But it's all like, so AD goes out. He has to go get it cleaned up. Whatever. I can't remember how much they went down by. But then as soon as AD comes back, the Lakers just storm right back. So I think AD is finally
7 or 8.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. So the thing is, AD just coming back, his presence on the court. Back then, you'd be like, it's just AD. He's too soft. You know, like how we used to say with Pau, like how people would say with Pau during that 08 season. He was too soft. And then he comes back even stronger. So I feel like AD's starting to get like, okay, he's too soft. Okay. You know, like they call him street clothes. But that's the thing, too. Like I saw a stat talking about the street clothes thing. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's funny how people talk so much crap about AD being street clothes. So the stat was since 2019 when AD joined the Lakers. Obviously, he's missed a lot of games, right? But he's played in 179 games since then. And then they call him Anthony Davis. I mean, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, Anthony Street Clothes Davis, you know. Meanwhile, KD, Kevin Durant, has only played in 132 games. Kawhi Leonard, 148 games. So it's all like, we just saw Kevin Durant get hurt in layup lines, you know? Like pre-game. If that was AD, I'm not trying to like talk bad about KD. I'm just trying to show everyone's inconsistencies, everyone's bias, you know, like towards AD being so injury prone. If that would have been AD, dude, Twitter would have been blowing up.
Headlines.
Like, literally yeah, exactly. We would have seen it on Undisputed and First Take. Is this man made of glass? You know, like, no way. Like, how? But it's like KD just came back from an injury, and I'm not trying to like rain on his parade or anything. I'm just saying they just got to be consistent by not calling them whatever, like calling them names for being injury prone. I'm just saying you all got to like chill on AD because AD's a big dude too. Like if he takes a fall, he's what, like almost 7 feet tall. He's a huge dude. So it's like
6'10".
Yeah. So like imagine playing. Obviously, it's not as physical as the game was back in the 80s, 90s, even 10 to 15 years ago, 2010s. But like AD is still a big dude. A fall as you're going up to hit the rim, you know, go up for a dunk or something. You can land on someone's ankle. Like it's recently, his injuries have just been like freak injuries at that point, you know?
Yeah, unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky, exactly. So it's not like, I don't know, man. But I don't
you
know.
want to know why
else?
he gets all the hate?
Because he's on the Lakers.
In the biggest market in the NBA.
Exactly.
Biggest media's in LA. That's why all the focus is here. That's why anything happens. When we're doing bad, they're talking about us. When we're doing good, they're talking about us. It's always Lakers are just, that's what makes headlines. That's what people want to hear about. So that's why it's there. Well, I have a question. I don't know if we had time for this, but just a question I thought of. How much better you think AD would be if he played alongside Kobe?
Ooh, whoa. Sorry, I'm just fixing this really quick. Oh,
good.
80 versus with Kobe, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
because you saw the mindset he gave to Gasol.
Exactly. It's
so
not like, dude,
if he's there, like Kobe trying to get the best out of Gasol, imagine him getting the best out of AD. Because I do love LeBron, but I don't think he's one of those players that's going to go and try to get the best and like push you to your limit.
Yeah. He's the type where he's all like, I'm gonna get mine, y'all catch up. Kobe was like, I need you guys to catch up so I can get mine because I know I can do it. Like he was robbed of MVPs back then when Steve Nash won them. Because just think of this. Kobe was averaging 35 back in like, what was it, 06, 07 during those seasons that he didn't win MVP. Yeah, he was averaging 35 back then when the game was way not as fast paced as it is today. So imagine if Kobe got 81 back then. In today's game, Kobe easily hits 100. And then to your point with AD, like I think it would have been like that Kobe Pau connection because AD is a smart dude. He even played with him on the 2012 team in Team USA in the Olympics. Kobe took him under his wing during that run during those Olympics, and AD was barely coming out of college. I think he had barely been chosen as the number 1 pick, but out of Kentucky, right? So I think that also helped him a lot because, like I was saying earlier, something about playing in the Olympics. You have a shorter off season, but it really helps you get ready for the regular season right away quicker. So Kobe with AD, dude, that would have been just put AD's number in the rafters already. They easily would have won 2 to 3. Just like how Pau won with him, AD would have easily won with Kobe. But anything else?
It was actually the
05-06
season where he averaged 35. I think it was the 06-07 he was at 31.
Exactly.
But those back-to-back seasons just dropping insane points. Didn't win MVP.
It's because he was 7 seed.
Still carried the team to the.
I think they were like 7 seed, but like I was saying earlier, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker. Come on, guys. How you really think Kobe's going to be able to win with those guys on the roster? Like, come on.
I mean,
Kobe, yeah.
Jokic won it. Was it last year or the year before when they're the
These
6
ones
seed?
last year.
I feel like it really don't. But which one was it when he was a 6 seed? Was it this last year or the year before that? I think the last year he won it. The Nuggets were 6 seed.
Yeah, which is crazy. Sure, I'm not sure, but yeah, that is true that they weren't the best seed. It could have been last season, but and then that's why I saw somebody making an argument for that as well, where they're all like, it's kind of hard not to give Jokic the MVP now because they already gave it to him and they were like a lower seed, and now he has his team in first place. So it's all like, how are we going to take it away from him now that he's leading the best
team? Averaging a triple-double.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though there's
you should have given it to him last year. Yeah. But this year he definitely deserves it, so then he's going to get it back to back.
I think Joel Embiid should have won last year. I'm not saying Jokic.
Yes.
I'm not saying Jokic.
Or Giannis too.
Giannis too, but he also had
last year.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like that's where that's what I'm saying. The voter fatigue crept in for Giannis too, because like how many times are we going to give it to this guy? But now they're like, oh shit, like damn, we have to give it to Jokic because now his team is better now, you know. So like we can't give it to him. So what's it going to be the next year? It's all like you can't go any higher than the first seed. So maybe next year they'll finally give it to someone else. But this year they're probably going to give it to Jokic. But yeah,
deserving though, definitely.
No,
deserving.
I'm not saying he's not deserving. I'm just saying like I don't know about last year, but this year definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
agree.
Now moving on to around the NBA, Ja Morant. Speaking of the Lakers, just played the Grizzlies. Obviously, Ja Morant didn't play. By now, mostly everyone around the sports world at least knows that he was suspended for at least 2 games. I'm not sure if they really have looked into it more, but he was suspended 2 games after he was started being investigated by the NBA and the local police for flashing a gun during his IG Live video while he was in a club. But there was a new update recently that they said he wasn't going to be charged. He was not going to be charged, due to lack of available evidence. So, man, this whole Ja thing, like, I don't know, like it just feels like this man's trying to get kicked out of the NBA, you know? It's not like is he trying to get kicked out? Like, I don't know, man. Like you're like, I understand, like everyone says don't forget where you came from, whatever, but it's all like I feel like Ja is trying too hard to be too hard, you know? It's like, bro, you're an NBA player. Like, just embrace it. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm all hard of this, all hard of that for your crew. It's like, you're the bread maker. You don't have to change your way for them. If anything, they should be changing their way for you. So if they don't bring anything of value to your family, not to your family, sorry, to your life, then you have the authority to get them out. because obviously you're the bread maker. Everybody's looking at you to be the leader. So it's all like at the end of the day, you got to make better decisions. So that's the thing. It's like I've seen things where it was so obviously the weapon being flashed. There was also that actually came a couple days after a police report was revealed that he also flashed the weapon at a 17-year-old after punching him 12 to 13 times. That's allegedly happened last season during the off season. There was also a couple days before that where he was accused of making threatening statements to Memphis mall guard. And there was another incident recently where his inner circle allegedly aimed a red laser at Indiana Pacers during aggressive confrontations after the game. So it's like, you see all this happening and it's like, bro, come on. Obviously you're young. I'm not going to say be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. But you got to be smarter with what you do. What was your reaction when you saw, not even the rest of the stuff, just the video itself, the IG Live video? What was your first reaction when you saw that?
My first reaction is, I don't know why he's trying to kind of like be someone where I feel like he's not. Like, he grew up in a small town in South Carolina. I think it was like Dalzell or something, which is like a suburb, small town.
Went to a private high school.
Yeah, like obviously I'm not from the hood, but I don't think he is either. And I think he's trying to model, like, to try to be like that. I'm like, do you have kids looking up to you? And his statement after was nice, but at the same time he said something about, I need to learn to manage stress. And I was like, how does waving a gun in an Instagram live video correlate to managing stress?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. But I think he is a product of who he's hanging around with, because a lot of things he's hanging around with people that are being a bad influence in his life. And you are who you hang around with. You hang around people that want to get in trouble, with police, you're going to get in trouble with police. You want to hang out with people that are rich, you're going to get rich. You want to hang out with people that are poor, you're going to be poor. Just you are who you surround yourself with. Yep. And I feel through this, he's not really understanding that. And I do love him as a player.
Definitely.
But I will say, ever since I watched him, he just needs to be humble just a little bit, and this might be the beginning of his humbling process. I do like him as a player. He's amazing, one of my new favorite players. But there's something about not being humble on the court and always wanting, like, you've seen him pretend to like fire finger guns at players after they score, stuff like that, after they get dunked on, like always very cocky and very like, you could celebrate, but there's a point where you're like, you also have to be a model for kids, because kids are looking up to you, and that has to be in the back of your mind when you're out there, because you're being a role model to kids, whether you like it or not. That's where you are now, and you have to do your best to be the best person you are for the younger generation. And I just feel like he's not doing that.
No, definitely.
But as a Laker fan, if he's missing a game against us when we need to make playoffs,
I ain't mad.
I ain't gonna be too mad.
Yeah, because we just saw last week. But we just saw last week he torched us. And I think it was like the third or fourth quarter. He had like 27 or something. I can't remember how much the exact amount, but he torched the Lakers last time they played in Memphis. So once that video came out, I saw a bunch of fans being like, I think you guys should suspend him till Wednesday, meaning till after the Laker game, because it's all like, bro. But like, yeah, like you said though, like I really hope this is the beginning of the humbling, not in terms of like, don't stop being yourself. Obviously, you're out there, you're having a good time, whatever, but just stop with the nonsense that doesn't need to happen. You know, like this type of video. Just like, we get it, you're Ja Morant, bro. Like, you don't have to be over here flashing your guns at everyone, or like how he was allegedly like threatening the mall cup. Like, it's unnecessary. But he released a statement saying, "I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being. So, like you were saying, I really do hope that this is the beginning of the humbling, because it's one thing to put out a statement, right? And I can't remember. I was watching ESPN. Somebody mentioned it too. It's all like, okay, you made the statement, whatever, but now it's not about the words that you put out. It's about the actions that lead those words. So as someone that, not someone that grew up, but someone that has watched Ja since I think it was his final season in college. That's where like he really took over the NCAA tournament. You know, that's where I started to fall in love with his athleticism. You know, so and then early on in his career, he was one of my favorite players. And then recently, like you just see the Grizzlies putting these targets on their own backs, and they're like, "Oh, well, everyone's talking crap about us, this and that, blah blah blah." It's like, because you put the target there, you know, like Ja, Dylan Brooks, like man, like Dylan Brooks even he said something about Draymond the other day, and Draymond just completely roasted him afterwards, saying, "You can talk that talk whenever you have all my accolades," you know. So I don't know, man. I just hope Ja gets it together, not only for his own sake or whatever, but I mean, yeah, for his own sake, you know, because I do want to see him continue his NBA career, because I think he has a bright career ahead of him. He's definitely a player that could be not an all-time great. Yeah, he could be an all-time great, but he could be one of those players that we could see down the line being a Hall of Famer type, you know? So I don't know anything else.
A Derrick Rose type player, a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. He was who he reminded me of at the beginning of his career, and I hated that I made that comparison, not because of the comparison, but because obviously sport fans know how Derrick Rose's career went down. Kind of. Obviously, he's still in the NBA, but he's not the same Derrick Rose that we saw at the beginning of his career. But that's what that's why, like, seeing Ja with all his athleticism, all these dunks, I was like, okay, calm it down just a little, please. We know you have the athleticism, but like we saw what happened to D Rose. Please, we don't want that to happen to you too. We don't want to be thinking what could have been, because obviously D Rose got his MVP, and then he tears his ACL in that 2012 playoffs, and it's like, no, dude, like now it's like what could have been with D Rose. Obviously, he's still a really good NBA player, but it's just not the same career that we expected to see coming out of those first couple of years after what we saw originally. So, anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up?
Just touching on the Ja thing, did you ever see that Shannon Sharp video that released talking about Ja, telling him like he's not from the hood?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know why, but when he was flashing his gun in the video, I felt that was like him trying to prove something like Shannon Sharp.
To Uncle Shay Shay.
I don't know why. It may not even be any correlation, but like I see that video and then I see that like a week and a half later.
Yeah.
And I'm just like something like I feel like he got really hurt by that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like in my mind, you know, like even if like the stuff with like cussing out the mall cop, I think you said, or like when he was allegedly beating up the 17-year-old. You know, it's funny. He might not even done any of this stuff. It could have been people he was with. But
that's what I think. Yeah.
If you're with those people, the first person they're gonna see is Ja Morant. That's a name they're gonna bring up. So it could not even be you. It just if you're around that stuff, your name's gonna be brought up because you're the person that's known by everyone. So they're not gonna be like, this guy did this and this. Oh, you're gonna be like, Ja Morant was with this guy when this happened. Your name's gonna be brought up. So you got to stay away from the people that are bringing your name to bad light. Is my thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're a product of the environment you're in, you know. So that's what I think too. I'm not saying maybe he would have been involved in some of those situations, but I'm pretty like I'm not gonna say I'm pretty sure. I'm just saying like how you think it could be a possibility that he was just around. But that's on Ja at the end of the day too, because that's the company that he has around. Those are the type of people he's associating with. So I hope that he realizes that. Obviously it's not all of them. It could be a select few, but he has to realize and really think about who he puts around him, because at the end of the day, they're affecting his career instead of him affecting theirs. Because obviously, whatever he's made right now is more than enough for the average person. But when you're thinking of NBA, this is only the beginning. This whatever rookie deal you have is nothing compared to the next extension max you could get, or the super max even later down the line. So he just really needs to start making some better decisions. I hope he does, because I want to see Ja playing for a long time. One of my favorite young players, him and Zion, they can get up there, like dunking athleticism wise. But yeah, man, anything else you'd like to say before taking off?
No, I think that's about it. Just want to say thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it. I'm always here if you ever want to talk basketball or Lakers again. And
sounds good.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come join us on the Sports Planet podcast. And to everybody else who's watching or listening, thank you for taking the time out of your day to support us by watching or listening to this episode. That's it for us today on this episode of the Sports Planet podcast. And we'll catch you guys on the very next episode. Life is good. I've decided.